Some haunted locations are turned into museums, others hotels, but just because you can visit somewhere doesn't mean you should. Some of these locations have even been restricted or made impossible to visit due to concerns of their danger. So let's jump back in with the top 5 haunted locations you should never visit, part 2. Coming in at number 5, we have Aradale Asylum in Ararat, Victoria, Australia. Aradale Asylum opened its doors in 1865. It was originally named Ararat Lunatic Asylum. It was opened along with 2 sister asylums at Kew and Beechworth to accommodate the growing number of lunatics in the colony of Victoria. The asylum was built as a town within a town, with its own market, gardens, orchard, vineyards, piggery, and other stock kept on the ground. As nice as that sounds, those kept there were called inmates rather than patients, and their treatment was not kind. Many people were sent to the asylum for different reasons, mostly those struggling with mental health and others dumped there for petty reasons. It was home to many men, women, and also children. Both electric shock therapy and the lobotomy were performed en masse at Aradale. Death was another factor that contributed to the dark history that cloaks Aradale. It is estimated that at least 13,000 deaths occurred throughout Aradale's many buildings during its 130 years of operation, meaning that up to a third of patients who entered the hospitals never came out. It is considered Australia's most haunted building to this day. There is currently only 1 tour operator allowed to go into the building. People who have visited the building have a lot of similar stories about various hauntings. Many experience a bitter taste in their mouth while visiting one of the offices. When this was looked into, it is revealed that one of the head doctors poisoned himself in that very room. Others felt a weird tingling in one side or all over their body while in the electric shock therapy room. Some see faces or shadows, others hear screams or banging. There is not much to be known about the people who died within the walls or who might remain, making it a very dangerous haunted location to any visitor. Coming in at number 4, we have the Bhangarh Fort, India. The ruins of a fort city built in the 17th century. Bhangarh Fort consists of fort walls, bazaars, havelis, royal palaces, and numerous temples, with 3 grand stories you can explore. But do not be fooled by the beauty of these ruins, as they are ranked as the most haunted fort in India. The place is considered to be so haunted, entry is restricted after sunset, so if you're wanting to explore, you will have to do it in the safety of the sunlight. It is known that there is a curse that hangs over the fort, put there by Singhir, someone who is well versed in black magic. He fell in love with the Princess Ratnavati, known far and wide for her beauty and kindness. Knowing he did not stand a chance with her, he enchanted her perfume so that when she used it, she would fall deeply in love with him. The princess found out about this and threw the bottle. As it flew through the air, it turned into a boulder and crushed Singhir. He was crushed under its weight, but before he died, he cursed the princess, her family, and the entire village. The next year, a battle was fought between the forces of Bhangarh and Ajabgarh, which led to the death of Ratnavati and most of the army. This was believed to be a result of the curse. It was due to this curse that no one in the village or fort could be reborn. It is forever condemned to desolation and is inhabited by ghosts. If any villager tries to build a roof, it apparently mysteriously collapses. The curse is said to have trapped the souls of those lost within the desolate fort. The guards keep watch to ensure no one enters after dark. It is not a safe place to be when the spirits awake at night. Coming in at number 3, Castle of Good Hope in South Africa. This oldest colonial building in South Africa, the Castle of Good Hope, is a pentagonal fortress built by Dutch colonialists in the 17th century. The well-known landmark is central to the history of Cape Town, having served as the seat of government and military operations for 2 centuries. The first ghost was spotted in 1915 when the apparition of a tall gentleman was seen jumping off the side of one of the castle walls and then walking between the bastions Leerdam and Orange. The other famous ghost who walked the grounds was the Lady in Grey. It is not known exactly who she is, but she would be seen hysterically crying into her hands and running around the castle. She used to be seen frequently by those on the grounds. However, during one of those renovations of the castle, the remains of a woman were uncovered and removed. Since these were removed, the woman has not been seen. It seems she was waiting for her remains to be found. Maybe her death was a sinister attack covered up and her body was lost until that day. The castle today has 3 museums and often tours of the old buildings. Be careful if you visit though, as it appears the spirits who have existed there were not happy ones. Coming in at number 2, Hellfire Club in Ireland. The Hellfire Club was a hunting lodge built in 1925 for William Connolly, an Irish parliamentary speaker. The stones of the buildings are from ancient passage tombs said to have angered the devil, which first associated the site with the supernatural. The lodge reportedly became a gathering place for a small group of Dublin elites who met for debauchery and devil worship. Its ruins sit atop the summit of Montpellier Hill in the foothills of the Dublin Mountains. Most who stumble upon the Hellfire Club today today will assume it is nothing more than an old derelict building, but it has a long past full of horrific tales. Tales of animal sacrifice, black masses, cloven-hoofed men, and murder are linked to the structure. The most popular tales tells of a visit by a satanic creature, in the form of a man who was only discovered when one of the players dropped a card and on picking it up noticed the guest had cloven feet. On his discovery, the creature disappeared in a ball of flames. One well-known ghost at the club is that of a young lady. It is said that she crossed paths with the club during one of their dark meetings. She was then thrown into a barrel, set on fire, and rolled down the hill for fun. Her spirit stayed, possibly to warn others not to enter and meet the same fate. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Poveglia Island in Italy. Poveglia is a small island located between Venice and Lido in the Venetian lagoon, northern Italy. A small canal divides the island into 2 separate parts. The island first appeared in the historical record in 421. In the 14th century, Venetians infected by the bubonic plague were sent here to die, and when they died, they were burned on giant pyres. The site was also used as a mental asylum during the 1800s, where patients were experimented on and tortured. If you ask any of the locals, they will all agree that the island is cursed with unhealthy spirits. Voices and screams can often be heard, and visitors see dark figures. Many visitors say they begin to feel an oppressive, evil feeling as soon as they step on the island. Currently, the island is abandoned. No one steps foot on it for any reason. Even if you did want to visit, you would struggle to find anyone willing to take you. The locals know the island to be evil and refuse to get anywhere close to it. Fishermen even avoid fishing in the area surrounding the island out of fear of accidentally finding and disturbing human remains. It's probably for the best that you don't visit this haunted location unless you're really determined, but that never ends well in horror movies. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with that list? Have you ever visited a haunted location? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see you later.